New report in the Wall Street Journal creating a lot of buzz and questions regarding the origins of the coronavirus and maybe answering some for you if you see it that way. The paper citing a classified intelligence report from the U.S. Energy Department, which said the coronavirus, COVID-19, most likely leaked from a lab. The determination reportedly made, again, with this disclaimer, with low confidence. But House Republicans on the House Oversight Committee launching an investigation into the COVID origins and the documentations that are out there now. They've requested documents. They've requested testimony from current and former Biden administration officials and others. Texas Congressman Fallon is a member on the House Oversight and House Armed Services Committee. He joins us live. Congressman, welcome to National Report. Thanks so much for coming back on. We do appreciate that. So sure. Here you have this exclusive that comes out that, according to the Energy Department, that this COVID-19 coronavirus likely leaked from a lab. It wasn't long ago that you had top doctors calling everyone who said that a conspiracy theorist. Now, seemingly a fact-based statement. Your thoughts?
Well, it used to be a fringe theory, if you remember, and a lot of the mainstream media were dismissing it, and you were a loon if you purported to believe that it was leaked from a lab. And just, I mean, circumstantially, where do they do virology research in China? In Wuhan. And where did this virus, or where did it originate? Wuhan. That in and of itself is quite a coincidence. But now the FBI and the U.S. Energy Department think the preponderance of the evidence shows them that it's more likely than not that it did leak from a lab, which many of us were, suspected this for a couple of years. And think also about what happened with the Delta variant in South Africa. They welcomed the international community to come in because they didn't know what it was. Did China do that? Did the Chinese communists do that? Or did they close their doors and their borders and say, we'll handle it? And that's indicative of someone that's trying to cover something up.
I want to show you this. Republican Senator Josh Hawley tweeting out, and a lot of people weighing in, a lot of Congress members. And here's what Senator Hawley had to say. The American people deserve the full truth about COVID origins. No more whitewash. I will again introduce legislation to make U.S. government's intelligence reports on COVID open to the people. And even across the aisle, we're seeing backlash from Democrats as well. We'll show you Massachusetts Democrat and Armed Services Committee member, Congressman Seth Moulton. Watch.
I'm not entirely surprised. The Chinese have mishandled COVID at every step of the way, trying to sweep it under the rug, trying to try a strategy of zero COVID that utterly failed. And tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Chinese are dead as a result of the mismanagement of this the pandemic by the Chinese Communist Party.
So again, now across party lines, you see more and more speaking out. What does responsibility, accountability look like with this new information in your eyes, Congressman?
Well, I think we should definitely have hearings. And it's sad that when the Democrats were in control of all levers of government, they did not do this because they were somehow, some of them anyway, were making this a partisan issue, which didn't make a lick of sense, particularly back, if you can recall, before the 2020 election. They wanted to blame one person for COVID, and his name was Donald Trump, and not the Chinese Communist Party. CNN, it's interesting you showed that clip because CNN was essentially reprinting things from the Chinese Communist media. Which is from the Chinese Communist Party itself. And we know one thing after 100 years, the communists lie like they breathe. So we definitely need to get to the bottom of this. And it should be a bipartisan effort because this, again, is one of those, not a Republican thing, not a Democratic thing. It should be an American thing.
Final thoughts from you on this soundbite. When you think of COVID, you think of Dr. Anthony Fauci in terms of how the pandemic was handled. He was advising the White House in 2 administrations. I want to play this for you. This is what Dr. Anthony Fauci said in 2021 in November about COVID.
If you look at the virologists, not the people who want to politicize this, and look at the virologists who actually know about evolutionary virology and biology, they tell you that it is much, much more likely that this was a natural evolution from an animal reservoir, likely to a bat to another intermediate host to a human. But until you know for sure, you have to leave open all possibilities. But if you look at the evidence, namely the historical and other evidence, it is more likely one than the other. And it's more likely that it's a natural outbreak from an animal reservoir, although we must keep all possibilities open.
Thoughts, Congressman?
Much like a lot of what Anthony Fauci said, that didn't age too well now, did it? And he's very cozy with EcoHealth, which was the NGO that was funding gain-of-function research in Wuhan. So it's not surprising. And you want to talk about politicizing. What did Anthony Fauci do for 2 years? He politicized. He mixed medicine with politics. And when you do that, you get two results. You get bad medicine and bad politics.
I'll leave it right there. Again, a bombshell report will continue to follow from the Energy Department, reported by the Wall Street Journal. Texas Congressman Pat Fallon joining us. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you so much.